All right, it is 8:40 on a Thursday morning. You know, the last time I was at a charity function with Alyssa, the guest speaker and the honored guest speaker was our next guest, Michigan softball coach Carol Hutchins. Hutch, good morning.
Morning, Sam.
It's great to hear from you, Coach. And we talked about the weather breaking in time for you to come home, and it did just that. You got a chance to play on your home field last week. I know, though, it did not get off to the start that you wanted to with that 3-0 loss.
Well, I often talk about the routine that we get into on the road, and it's different when you get to be home, and the kids come from their own apartments and dorms, and they're a little bit more on their own schedule, and just adjusting to being in their home dugout. And I can tell you that nobody wants to please the fans more than those kids, and so they often try a little too hard and get a little too amped to be at home. And I think we had a little case of all that, but you got to give credit to Kent State's pitcher, Emma Johnson. She was fantastic. I was really impressed, and she's as good a pitcher as we've faced thus far this year. And we didn't make the kind of adjustments we needed to make. And we gave up a couple really big hits, so that was the name of the game. But, I thought the fact that we were able to take 2 out of 3 in the series was really important because, a good pitcher will beat you. The key is you don't let him keep beating you. So we came back a little better the next day. I thought we got a little more locked in, and most importantly, we got used to being at home a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt, Coach. For those that weren't following along, sure, the Wolverines, they lost that opener 3-0, but came right back in the next game and ruled them 10-1. And it was a name that we've talked about a little bit already, or I shouldn't say a little bit. We talked about a lot already this season, and Kelsey Susala, who really, got those goose eggs off the board for you.
Well, she broke it open for us, and a bases loaded double, if I recall, and she just definitely has been consistent for us all year, and that's what she's there for. She's a power hitter. Her job's to bring home some RBIs, and she did just that.
Now, so Coach, you talked after that first game about it being easy to hit when everyone is hitting that sort of infectious thing. Is that kind of what took place from that point on?
Well, that's what's the downside of that infectious, contagious thing is we were infected on the first game.
Mm-hmm.
And, when we're not hitting, nobody's hitting, and then we're all catching it. And then the second game, we get a few big hits, and it takes the pressure off. You feel more relaxed. You don't feel like, hey, I have to get this done or my team's not going to win. And, I'd like to see us do what we did in Game 3, which was a 4-1 win that we really had to scratch out. And we just need to do a better job of, when things aren't going fantastic and we're scoring right and left, we've got to be able to hold the opponent with our pitching and our defense and scratch out some runs. And that's the kind of ball that you're going to have to play because when it's crunch time, you're not going to be blowing teams out.
Yeah, we're talking to Michigan softball coach Carol Hutchins here on the Michigan Insider on Sports Talk 1050 WTKA online at WTKA.com. Coach, after that loss in the opener, you gave the ball to Megan Betza, and she really did well for you the next couple of games.
Well, yeah, she really was pretty sharp in Game 2, and I think she held them to 2 or 3 hits, and more than anything, she just had the look of the tiger, as we like to say. So we gave her the ball in Game 3. We wanted to see what she could do back-to-back, and I thought she did a fantastic job. But she gave up one big hit, home run, and she really, after that, got a little, as she said, mad and started pitching even better and said sometimes we'd like to be mad before they hit the home run. But she did a really nice job for us. I was very pleased.
A couple of young names, Coach, that I want you to kind of touch on and tell us a little bit about. In the last game, the Kent State series, you got some great contributions from Kelly Christner and Tara Blanco. Both went 2 for 3 in the contest.
Well, Christner has, again, she's been in our 2 spot for us all year, and she has been steady Eddie. And we haven't used her a lot in the short game scenario because she's just a good hitter. She's a gapper. who can put it out of the yard, which she did in that game, broke it into 6 with a 2-run shot, which gave us a 3-1 advantage. And Kelly has just been, she's been starting since day one. She's the best athlete on our team, and she keeps getting better and better. Tara Blanco, again, a freshman who we put in the 4-hole behind Romero, and she keeps getting better as we go. Young kid, and it's tough to go from, Romero gets walked a lot, and so the person behind her is going to get some good pitches, and we're just counting on her to keep getting better. I think she's got the ability to handle the psyche that goes with being, as we like to say, disrespected because they'd rather pitch to you than Sierra Romero. She's got the psyche for it, and that's why we've kept her there. We think she can handle it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you mentioned Christner there, came up big again as you guys pulled out, or I shouldn't say pull out, as you rolled to that victory over Bowling Green yesterday. She was big at the plate for you with 3 hits. Including a 2-run home run as you guys won 8-1 yesterday over Bowling Green.
Yeah, again, she's just steady. And the number 2 hitter's job is really to get on base. But we have found the 2 hitter to be really an important RBI position.
Right, and Coach, one more thing. I know you talked earlier in the season about your leadoff hitter, and it just really seems like Sierra Lawrence has really settled in there.
She's settled in for the most part. She has her streaky moments. She wasn't on this weekend against Kent State. And, really, we kind of go as the Sierras go. And when Sierra Lawrence is on base, our offense is on fire. And we need her to be our spark and find ways to get on base and stay pretty even keel because, really, she's really key and very integral to the offense.
Gotcha. All right, so, Coach, and now the second season, if you will, the second season is underway. Big Ten Conference play. You open up down at Ohio State. Tell us what the Buckeyes bring to the table this year.
Well, it's always fun to go down to Ohio State because nothing. If you worry about your kids getting an edge, you don't have to worry about it long because nobody is very polite down there to the Wolverines when they come into town, and so it's always exciting to play at their stadium. It's definitely a bit of a bloodbath. Ohio State has, I think in all categories, they can pitch, they can hit. They've always been a good hitting team, and they hate the Wolverines. And we often have a very good series with them. I know they got roughed up last night against Louisville, but it's Big Ten and it's Michigan versus Ohio State. So I expect it to be a tough series, 3-game series. We play single Friday, single Saturday, single Sundays when the weather permits. It's tough. It's going to be really tough this year to sweep any series. I believe the Big Ten is more pair than ever, and we're going to have to really take it one game at a time, and we're going to have to be pretty resilient.
Right, folks, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, as Coach said, 6 o'clock Friday evening, 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon, weather permitting, of course. Coach, it is always mandatory before we get done to talk about the academy that's coming up. If folks want to be involved in the softball academy, how can they do that?
Well, they can go to msoftballacademy.org and get signed up. I had not had a chance to look this morning and see where we're at, but the last couple of weeks, the interest has really been rising, and of course, us playing games and playing home games is certainly getting people's interest up. But we expect this year to have a full capacity crowd. We've opened up the silent auction to the public so that if you do not participate in the actual event, you can still attend the silent auction, which is an event in and of itself. Mm-hmm. It's spectacular. It's going to be at the Jack Frost Suites this year as we needed more space. And I think the prizes will be better than ever. We're also offering some great Adidas gifts for people who are participating and help fundraise. So I've seen a number of people Facebooking and tweeting about where they're at in their fundraising. But all in all, we are trying to have a great time playing softball, and we are trying to raise money in the name of beating breast cancer. So we hope that people will get involved, because I can guarantee you it'll be a night of your life.
Yeah, it is an unbelievable event. It is so much fun and for a great cause. So I encourage you, if you haven't participated before, participate now. And, Coach, you'll find if someone doesn't have a team, you'll find a team for them, right?
Oh, they'll have a team. I can guarantee it. And just like when kids come to summer camp and they don't know anybody, by the end of the evening, you are bonded with your teammates.
That's right.
The folks they just have such a great time. There's a lot of smiles. There's a lot of laughing. And there's not always a lot of good softball. But you know what? At that point, that's okay.
Right, but it is a ton of fun and for a tremendous cause, and you guys do a great job with it, so looking forward to it. Well, Coach, good luck this weekend against Ohio State, and we'll talk to you again next week.
All right. Thanks, Sam.
All right, thanks a lot. That was Michigan softball coach Carol Hutchins. And it is an unbelievable event. I can't stress it enough how much fun it is.
We had so much fun the last couple of years. Yesterday, Sam, real quick before we get to our next guest, I was walking Fred yesterday, and one of my neighbors sees me and he says, I was at the softball game on Sunday, saw an advertisement for the softball academy, so I signed up. I saw you're signed up as well. And so, as she said, once they start playing home games, the interest starts picking up a little bit more. So I ended up having a 5-minute conversation with my neighbor about how great the academy is, not just was, is, and is a great event. And if, say, you don't want to play softball, you just want to contribute, you can donate to teams like ours, obviously, and we'll tell you more about that over the next few weeks. But you can also just come to the event after at the club, at the stadium club, and that's always a good time as well. So a lot of great ways to help, a lot of great ways to get involved. But the best one is if you can participate. It's a fun event. Participate. It's a fun event.